Good evening. Hope everybody's doing alright. Man. Nope, I didn't play the intro twice. You just took one too many hits of LSD. So, right on, man. Right on. So if you move your hand in front of your eyes, you'll see these real cool, like, streamers coming from them. Fun times. Yeah, I didn't really have anything to name the show. It's probably going to be another record quick show. I don't have a lot for you. Relatively quiet on the front. I have a feeling, like I said yesterday, that is about to change. I kind of have a feeling all hell is about to break loose. So, take the easy days while we can. Anyway, figured I would just run through, get it done and over with, maybe even beat last night's time, which, after I stripped out the intro, 22 minutes and 15 seconds. I don't know if I could beat that, though. Not trying to, necessarily, but, I've been kind of at it all day, not obviously doing hard labor or nothing, but I've been busy. I've kept myself pretty busy throughout the day. I am ready for bed. So I figure we'll just run right through this and get the heck out of here. The aliens don't want to be here either. Nobody does. I get it. Anyway. Wagner Group claims full control of Soledar. Okay, I'm going to have to take their word for it. Units of Wagner Group have taken control of the entire territory of Soledar. The head of the private military company, Yevgeny Prigozhin, claimed on Tuesday evening. I'm sure that's not how his name is said, but let's pretend. Fighting is still going on in the center of town, where an unknown number of Ukrainian soldiers has been encircled. No, not a circle jerk. This is something different. There is a cauldron in the center of town, not the middleman. A cauldron in the center of town where urban fighting is taking place, Prigozhin said in a statement released to the media. We'll announce the number of prisoners tomorrow. He added that only Wagner and no other units had taken part in the storming of Soledar. A video showing two Wagner fighters standing calmly outside the town administration building was released on social media earlier in the day. Such recordings, usually accompanied with geospatial coordinates, have commonly been used during the conflict to announce territorial control. Named after the salt mines, Soledar had around 10,000 residents before the conflict. The Ukrainian army turned it into a strong point after being pushed out of Popasnaya in mid-2022. Russian control over the town creates problems for Kiev's forces in the embattled bastion of Artyomov, which Ukraine has renamed Bakhmut. Prigozhin said last week that his objective was not necessarily to take the towns, but the destruction of the Ukrainian army and the reduction of its combat potential. On Sunday, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky acknowledged that the situation in Soledar was very difficult and called it one of the bloodiest spots along the front line, but vowed that Ukrainian troops would continue to hold no matter what. So, now it's crazy because depending on who you hear report on this stuff, you get totally different stories. I think there are even some in the prepper realm that are getting their news from U.S. media, plain and simple, because they would have you believe that Ukraine is just totally kicking Russia's ass, and nah, I don't think so. Pretty sure it ain't going down like that. Now I'm pretty sure it's going to be really evident pretty quickly. Damn, that coffee tastes good. Could do a show on drinking coffee without my pinky up. I don't feel that sophisticated this evening. Alright, next. West definitely taking part in Ukraine conflict, says the Kremlin. Bear Creek soup. Yeah, it's good stuff, I'm telling you, man. Good stuff. The U.S. and NATO are already taking part in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, although indirectly, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov had told journalists on Tuesday. He was commenting on a statement made earlier by the Secretary of Russia's National Security Council, Nikolai Patrushev, who called the ongoing hostilities a confrontation of NATO with Russia. Both NATO and the U.S. are definitely taking part in this conflict, although indirectly, by proxy, Peskov said, adding that although both Washington and Brussels maintain they have no intention of getting involved in the conflict between Moscow and Kiev, de facto they have already become an indirect party to it. The U.S. and its allies, including the NATO nations, pump Ukraine full of arms, share technologies and intelligence data. Their involvement in this conflict is obvious, the spokesman for Russian President Vladimir Putin said. Moscow does not believe that any of its actions could further provoke the U.S. and NATO into increasing their military aid to Kiev since it's already happening, Peskov said. We see that increases in military supplies come on a daily basis, the Kremlin spokesman said, adding that increasingly more powerful weapons are getting delivered in larger quantities as Western nations intensify their training of Ukrainian troops. So, my neck. And I believe the Ukrainian troops and anybody else fighting for them are just merely cannon fodder. I really believe so. U.S. mulls new armored delivery to Ukraine, says Politico. Now, they're not talking about the tanks yet, the big heavies yet. But this is U.S. Department of Defense is contemplating the delivery of Stryker armored fighting vehicles to Ukraine as part of a new security assistance package, Politico reported on Monday, citing sources. According to an unnamed Pentagon official interviewed by the outlet, the U.S. has not yet announced a final decision on the matter, as the vehicles could be included in one of the next batches of military aid. Washington could officially announce the next package with or without the Strykers late next week, the Politico source said. The Strykers are expected to help Ukraine fight off an anticipated Russian spring offensive, the report says. The 8-wheeled armored vehicles offer high off-road mobility and strike a balance between a tank and an armored personnel carrier. Ukrainians need armored personnel carriers, and short of other countries providing it, it's what we have in inventory, a Pentagon official told Politico. Not as good as a Bradley for a tank fight, but good to protect infantry and get up close to a fight. Stryker vehicles, which come in different variants and are built for the U.S. Army by General Dynamics Land Systems, have been in service since 2002 and have seen action in Iraq. Each unit usually includes a .50 caliber machine gun. That would be that would be cool. So anyway, that goes into the other goodies other nations are giving them. But, yeah, on those tanks, the heavy tanks, next week at the very latest. It'll probably be this week yet. Before the end of this week, they'll announce that we're going to be giving Ukraine heavy tanks either the end of this week or the beginning of next. Eventually, it's going to be like, the U.S. is going to be like, but we're not going to give them nukes. And then we'll know within 2 weeks. Alright, let's see. Moving forward. Classified documents found at Biden think tank, says the media. Imagine that. The U.S. Department of Justice is reportedly investigating the discovery of classified materials at a Washington, D.C. think tank closely linked to President Joe Biden. Last August, the FBI raided the Florida home of former President Donald Trump, claiming he was improperly storing classified government documents there. The discovery was made in early November at the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement, an organization affiliated with the University of Pennsylvania, CBS News reported on Monday. The roughly 10 documents reportedly stored in a box alongside non-classified materials date back to the Barack Obama administration and originate from Biden's time as vice president, according to CBS. Biden's attorneys found the papers and informed the National Archives, with the agency taking possession of them the following morning, sources told the news outlet. U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, John Lausch, has been assigned to conduct a preliminary investigation into the issue. Sources said Biden was unaware of the contents of the documents found at the Penn Biden Center. Biden's think tank was launched in 2018 and was staffed by many former Obama administration members, some of whom later transitioned to the incumbent's team. Biden used the premises of the center from mid-2017 until the spring of 2019. Last summer, a standoff occurred between the federal government and former President Trump when the FBI executed a search warrant at his private residence. A standoff? Mar-a-Lago, Trump resisted requests by the National Archives to return documents that he was allegedly improperly holding. The FBI reportedly recovered some 300 classified files in Trump's possession. Commenting on the confrontation at the time, Biden called Trump's behavior totally irresponsible. Some Republican politicians have argued that two cases were similar. What's the difference in what President Trump did versus what we now know President Biden did? James Comer, the incoming House Oversight Committee chairman, asked. So, I'm sure you'll never get an answer. I'm sure that nothing will ever be done, and it won't matter. Why? Why won't it matter? Because COVID, yes, you heard me, COVID has released the Kraken. The Kraken. So if you haven't been got, you're going to get got with the Kraken, because the Kraken's coming. They're warning about it right now. So you better just duct tape your doors shut, your windows shut. Hell, just duct tape a bag around your head. Right? You have to avoid the Kraken at all costs. Wait. Oh, okay. There's no reason to panic. It says it right here. No reason to panic. Calm down. Why would you name it Kraken if there was no reason to panic? Anyway, uh, I have to get amused by the little things. There is no reason to panic over a new COVID-19 variant spreading across the world. I think it got me. Revenge. Russian infectious disease specialist Sergei Voznevinsky has said earlier the World Health Organization declared the Omicron subvariant XBB 1.5, dubbed Kraken, the most transmissible subvariant that has been detected yet. While Kraken is more contagious, it only causes a mild disease. Unlike herpes, different subject, Voznevinsky, or however you say his name, told the Moscow City News Agency, adding that there is no reason to expect any abrupt adverse changes in the epidemiological situation in Russia. In other words, they're gonna be okay. All Omicron subvariants have two things in common. You must remember this. What are the two things? Oh, they are more transmissible than all previous variants. Dun 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 dun. Number two, they cause a milder form of the disease. So we have absolutely nothing to fear but fear itself. Well, he didn't put the second part there, but he did say we have absolutely nothing to fear. And I bet if somebody would have been there recording it, he would have said, but fear itself. And everybody would have, shared a moment. Anyway, we're not going to share any moments here. We already spent too much time on that nonsense. Kraken. Wait until it's something that's nothing. Oh, we're gonna call this Kraken. It's like you totally missed out, man. Should have been like variant 1. Oh, man. Crazy time. Alright, let's run through this and run out the door. Thank goodness I don't have to do that. I already did my chores. Alright. And I'm going to get a chest because last month I got a medal and I just needed a chest to pin it on. So this month I chose a chest. U.S. to boost military cooperation with NATO hopeful. Biden declares emergency in U.S. state. Some crazy weather nonsense happening in California. Western sanctions reshaping global energy markets, says Wall Street Journal. German property market plummets, says report. U.S. mulls new armor delivery to Ukraine, says Politico. Wait, I think I read that one. U.S. threatening Africa over its ties with Russia, says Defense Minister. Classified documents found... Oh, covered that. Trump taunts Biden that FBI should raid the White House. Yeah. Historic UK space mission ends in fiasco. Not surprised. EU nation pushes for seizure of Russian assets, says Bloomberg. A Ukrainian city reveals why it can't remove Brezhnev Memorial. Key Donbass town close to liberation, says DPR head. Westbound Russian oil goes to Asia instead. A Russian ally explains refusal to host drills for military alliance. EU taxpayers' money invested in cluster munitions industry, says media. No place for independent Russia in Western schemes, says Moscow. Poland to create new infantry division in the east, says defense minister. Russian oil giant wants to supply gas to China, says Kommersant. Ex-Soviet Republic explains refusal to return weapons to Ukraine. They didn't want to. EU becomes world's top LNG importer. Imagine that. UN hails major environmental achievement. They made all that possible. EU threatens to widen sanctions. NATO and U.S. I already read that one. NATO and EU outline goal of closer bond. Poland appeals to U.S. global role in row with Germany. Russia opens first LGBT propaganda case. Sharp decline in number of Russian billionaires, says Forbes. G7 wants to force India to accept Russian oil price cap, says Reuters. Russian trolls had no impact on 2016 U.S. election, says a study. Wagner Group releases video from contested Soledar. Let's see. Death to posts okay for Iran leader, Meta is told. So I guess it's okay for him to wish death on people on Twitter. Or Facebook, and Instagram and all that. The Meta stuff. Let's see. No plans for new war with Armenia, says Azerbaijan. And that is everything. Yeah, that's what's so kick-ass about it. It's cheap, and you can always mix in a little bit of stuff with it. I bet if you took a little bit of that black bean burger and mixed it up in that soup, I bet it would be nice and mighty tasty. Huh. Oh, you were welcome, man. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, that's why when I ran across it, that's why I was saying, this is a damn good option for cheap. There you go. There you go. We get frozen broccoli, little packages of it. And when I make chicken, I always make a little package of the broccoli as well. Good stuff. So, anyway, in fact, I might even pick something to eat before bed. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. I am kind of hungry. I will catch you all tomorrow night, God willing. And, we'll see what the hell's going on then. So, anyway... We'll talk to you tomorrow. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.